All right, we're
Whatever
going
it's called. I
live.
can't think of what it's
We're
called.
live.
We're not starting yet. I'm just setting up the live, and I'm gonna send the link in the chat. All the good stuff.
A guy swiped up on my story when I posted that clip of me on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "If you ever need like editing and highlights or stuff, let me know." So,
Hey, bro, you should hit him up for real, so we're taking a break next week, but I'll probably spend like that time that we would have been on the show brainstorming like ways that, because I want to start after this break. We're gonna start posting on social media and stuff that we're like live more often, things like that. So I would like to have highlights and clips. So
My hair looks terrible.
We can do something with that.
I feel the same way, Chase. I gotta fix this real.
Group me. No,
all right, we're rocking the John Bellion hat.
There we go. Alrighty. What's this?
Eyebrows though, on fleek as always. No,
my eyelashes are the things that are on fleek. You can't see them, but I've been told I have very beautiful eyelashes.
I've been told I have very long eyelashes. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, same.
This is now the fashion SMC show.
The C in SMC stands for couture.
What's the S&M stand for?
The M is Milan. The M is Milan.
Okay.
And S is I got nothing. This bit fell apart.
I pushed it to its limit.
Yeah, I give me a week. I'll come up with something.
All you got two.
I want to think of like some cold open bits we can do, I guess. You know, we just kind of start the pod and we do a bit or something like that.
I'd like that.
I can tell you now, it's at the end of the show. I'm taking full credit that I'm correct for my hot take.
I was just commenting. I was just saying, Chase nailed half nailed one. I'd say nailed 1.5 of your hot take. I'll still give that Lions one to you.
No one else had the guts to say the Lions
in Heinz Field.
I honestly thought that it wouldn't be like a blowout or anything.
I took a screenshot of the score and sent it to Kai. I just said, hold the line. But Najee Harris and Donovan McNabb, the overtime legends of the NFL.
Najee Harris.
I have no idea how NFL players don't know that games can end in ties.
That's hilarious.
It happens every time, and I don't get it.
We'll be starting in 30 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cinco, seis.
I actually at work have to speak very broken Spanish to actually talk.
¿Por qué?
Because I work with native speakers who don't speak English.
I see.
So I'm trying to catch 3 words to make a sentence and trying to say 6 for something that needs 18. So I say words that are similar and it's just broken, but
they get it.
I can get through.
That
should be my LinkedIn lead off.
Breakthroughable Spanish.
All right, we're good. You guys ready to go?
Let's get it.
Sir.
Let's do it. All right. So we are live with episode number 9 again of Across the Board, because I was looking back at our YouTube. We actually skipped episode number 4, fellas. So I had this whole thing planned about it being episode 10, 10 episode anniversary of the show, 10 weeks. But no, it was episode 9. We've only been doing this for 9 weeks. So, but we have a great show regardless. We're going to start off with some NFL action, recapping some games from last week, talk about the upcoming games, and talk about some storylines in the NFL because there's a lot of them. It's heating up. Transition to some college football. We're getting deep into conference play now. Really starting to see that top four mold together. I actually don't have a CFP rant this week, so they get a week off. Surprisingly, we'll transition to some college basketball, talking about some early surprises, some early NBA prospects, and everything like that. Maybe some NHL. We'll see how we're feeling. Talk about some NBA. There's a ton of NBA going on. I cannot wait to talk about the Rockets after you sent me that podcast clip, Chase. It was great. They're bad, so we're going to talk about that. Go into some soccer, and of course, our favorite part of the show, the hot takes. So without further ado, fellas, let's talk about last week's NFL games, right? So we had a surprising Monday Night Football, I believe. Monday Night Football, 49ers versus Rams. 49ers beat the Rams 31-10 on Odell's first game as a Ram. I heard that he requested a trade, but
you know who I feel like? You know who I feel like after watching? You know how I feel like after watching that game?
Go ahead.
You know the teacher in The Incredibles who's like, coincidence? I think not. That's how I feel right now about the Rams and Odell.
Yeah, I don't know how this was such a weird game. Just 3 weeks ago we were talking about that this Rams team was we even considered, like, we were just like, they're the number one team. Let's talk about the teams under them and how far they have fallen. I mean, they're still a good team, obviously, but I mean, this was a surprising game.
Well, you can't have -3 fantasy points to make me want to trade you every week if you're Matthew Stafford. But that's a side rant in itself. But their offense is just stuttering, but they have a bye week. I think maybe they were just looking a little bit ahead. They saw as the Niners.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they'll be fine. I mean, the NFL has had a couple wonky weeks here in a row where the big teams you think lose, and then it's kind of doing the NFL thing where it balances out, and then the last couple weeks everyone's like, oh, the bad team could do it, and then the good teams still make it. So
yeah.
I think that this whole thing is just kind of what I was worried about heading with the Rams into the season, and that's somebody who's watched Matthew Stafford for his entire career. Is the sad reality is that he's just not as good as people think he is. I hate to be that guy. I really do. But for his entire career, he has never been like a top 5 quarterback. And when people just expect him to do that, like, you're going to get he'd have these kind of games with the Lions where he just like couldn't lead an efficient offense. And even though the Rams are a lot more talented than the Lions were during their tenure, it doesn't change the fact that this has been a problem for Stafford his entire career.
I think something I want to add on to that too is that this Rams offense has been a little bit inconsistent this year. But what I've been a little bit more disappointed by is in that defense. They bring in Von Miller. They have Jalen Ramsey. Like, they are a super team, right? They're an NFL super team, and to give up 31 to the Niners I'm just disappointed in them. I think they will eventually figure it out. Like Jay said, they have a bye week coming up. I'm not really too worried about them, but maybe they're just not as stacked as we thought. I don't know.
I really go ahead, Chase.
The thing that I said last week was super teams in the NFL don't work, and the super team isn't necessarily the players you have; it's the names. Like in the NBA, Russell Westbrook gets traded to the Lakers, and everyone says, "Oh, big 3." But his production doesn't say that he is like one of those top 10 players. Now you can argue that however you want, but like, you hear they got Von Miller, but this isn't the Von Miller that carried that Broncos defense. Maybe not carry. Carry is probably a strong word.
But he's
not that Von Miller anymore. OBJ is not that OBJ that we thought of when he took the picture on the boat in New York. I mean, like, it's more of a collection of the players and what they create. Like, everyone says scheme. What is it? It's the like X's and O's over Joe's or whatever.
Joe's and Schmoes. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something like that. Like, it's more about how they play together more than just their names, which is what I really meant last week when I said, like, super teams don't necessarily work.
Yeah.
Yeah, over Stafford's past 2 games, he has had the let me find it again. He has the 25th of PFF passing grade. So he's been not great over the past 2 weeks. He's been 25th out of 36. So faltering a little bit.
Interesting. Moving on, Chiefs Raiders. Chiefs beat the Raiders last week 41-10. After beating a Packers team led by backup quarterback Jordan Love by 13-7, I feel like this was a good showing by the Chiefs. Against a pretty good Vegas team, right? Newsflash: Mahomes isn't bad, right? He's still Mahomes. That team is, I said it. I said I thought that Packers win, even though it wasn't against Rodgers, and even though it was a scrappy win, it might turn around their season. And I mean, beating the Raiders by 31, that's a good start in my opinion.
Yeah, I think go ahead. Sorry.
So I think now they have to prove they can be consistent because they have a tough game this week against Dallas.
Yeah.
They won't be consistent.
Is that prime time this week?
I would assume so.
No, it's not prime time. It's just afternoon game, 4:25. Surprisingly.
So it's one of like those midday, like everyone's
Midday.
Finally home. Like this is the game we want you to see.
It's America's game of the week, probably.
Yeah. That makes sense. Still a banger matchup.
I was gonna agree with Tyler. I think that the Chiefs just need to do it in back-to-back weeks. I mean, it's easy to like the hyperbolic nature of sports, especially NFL, where the amount of games you play is significantly less than the other sports, and you only get 1 week and you get a whole like week to process everything. Yeah. People kind of blow it out of proportion, but like you have to feel good about the Chiefs and the way they performed. But they just,
they're leading. They're leading in the AFC West right now.
Yeah, they just have to do it against good teams. Yeah, consistently.
Like that's the crazy part about it. They're still leading their division. No, like this. If this is considered a really bad season for them, and they're still like gonna win that division, that just shows you how good that team is. The next team I want to talk about is really interesting, right? We're going to talk about this Patriots team. Last week beat the Browns 45-7. This week for Thursday Night Football, they just beat the Falcons 25-0, right?
They beat both my teams.
Yeah, they did. Patriots are 7-4 right now, right? This is going to kind of transition to our next topic, right? Is this team legit, right? Like, how far can this team go? Like Mac looks good in that offense. That defense is showing up. They play consistent. You know what you're going to get with that team week in and week out. How far do you guys think this Patriots team can go this season?
I thought that maybe they'd fight for like that 7 spot, which I still think they can do. They still have to play the Bills twice. I know that. I don't necessarily know like the rest of their schedule off the top of my head or anything.
I can pull it up for you.
I think they have a pretty tough next 4 weeks.
So they're playing Patriots are playing Titans next week, Bills the next week,
yeah,
Colts, Bills again.
Yep.
And then they end their season with Jags and Dolphins, right? So these next 4 games will really decide like where this team is gonna go.
I mean, personally, I don't think they get blown out. I mean, it's just not how the Patriots are.
Oh.
And their offense might not put up 45. But I saw something where in their last 5 games, they've won by like a combined 125 points or something.
Eesh.
They have the second fewest points allowed in the league, if I'm looking at this correctly, with Buffalo's defense being first. Patriots are second with 177 points allowed.
If Mac Daddy Jones is going to be flinging that ball around, I mean, they can do it. I'm not saying they're Super Bowl contenders, but I mean, they're at least going to contend. They're going to never be like an easy out, obviously.
I see like kind of like a, not to a lesser extent, but I kind of see, because they perform that well, but I kind of see a little bit of the 2016 Cowboys in them, and that they have a rookie quarterback who's overperforming expectations, and they run the ball a lot. But I think that as good as Mac Jones has played over the past few weeks, I don't think they're gonna like beat the world or anything like that. I'm the only reason I'm really saying this is because I have a season-long under bet on the Patriots to be under 9.5 wins. So I really hope that they don't win that many games, because otherwise I will lose money.
So Austin, I want to challenge you on that, right? I don't really know if Mac is overperforming his expectations by too much. I mean, he's been playing well, obviously, but they're not winning all of those games just because of him. I truly think that Belichick has done a great job at giving him the resources to be successful, right? If Mac has a bad game, that Patriots team still could win. Probably have won a game like that where he's played bad this year. So I think that. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's overperforming. I think that this team is. I think he's just going to keep getting better. I think when Mac starts playing better, if he does that this season, this Patriots team is going to look even better than they have been.
Well, okay. At this point in the season, did we think Mac Jones was going to be far and away the best rookie quarterback?
I mean,
I would have at least said he's fighting for it.
I feel like in the draft show, or even if we didn't talk in the draft show, I think we all agreed that Mac Jones was the most NFL-ready quarterback. I feel like that was the consensus in the draft, right? I thought he had the lowest, or I thought he had the highest floor, lowest ceiling out of all the quarterbacks. Now
he's sitting at like 7th in PFF grade in the entire NFL. Like he's slicing and dicing.
Yeah, I mean he has like 2,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Like good
doesn't
numbers.
Look terrific.
But like it doesn't look like he's having like a crazy year.
The thing that's helping is he doesn't like miss any egregious passes.
No,
like he's not overthrowing a receiver who's open by 10 yards.
He just does his job, and I think that's why everybody's starting to love Mac Jones. Well, he did make some impressive throws in that Browns game. But besides that, like he pretty much knows his job, right? He knows. And then who is that running back that they have? That big running back.
Really good.
Ramondre Stevenson?
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be good coming out of Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only good thing that's come out of Oklahoma.
But, I don't know. Kyler. You got Kyler. You got
Kyler. You got
Baker's
Baker.
Not bad.
You know?
Is he? Is he though?
No, he's not bad. He's just not very good.
This is the most hurt he's been in his entire career.
Give the man a break.
I was just about
to
bring
Baker.
that up.
I like Baker. I was
just about to bring that up, Chase. There was a video I saw on Twitter where he was comparing like how Baker threw his rookie year to now, and he looks hurt out there. I mean, he's just like he used to use his whole body. Now it's just his arm. He's just.
Hey, he's gonna take that mantle from Big Ben where he comes up with injuries every week, so it makes it look like he's fighting through something.
I know.
Like how Big Ben said he had COVID and then realized he couldn't play. So
I think he needs this. That's a whole nother topic. I think Baker can sit it out though. I don't know if they're making the playoffs this year. But
he's not the same.
Moving on, right? We have some big games this upcoming week, right? We have Cowboys, Chiefs, Washington football team versus Panthers is on the script. Did you add that one, Chase?
It was. There is a reason, and I can defend
I trust you.
Is the reason Cam Newton versus Ron Rivera?
Okay, so I personally don't care about Cam Newton coming back. I think they should play PJ Washington.
I'm back.
But
that was so cold.
Come on, that was pretty hype.
That was so cold.
Washington came off the big win a week ago against the Bucks, and the Panthers, given the Cardinals didn't have Kyler, but they still have all these weapons that everyone's been saying, which I have said too. And this is kind of both teams' chance to prove that last week wasn't a fluke. Now, there's probably some other games, but I've also been one to kind of pick those weird games.
Yeah.
I mean, the Panthers, third in the NFC South. Austin's pick of the Falcons being better than them at the end of the season, not looking so good after last night. Probably the only trio of quarterbacks in a single game to throw an interception, but we can talk about that later. I mean, it's kind of like a chance to really prove if they're worth anything because the Panthers are 5-5. They've started off really hot, fell off really fast.
So you think it's a bigger game for the Panthers than it is the Washington football team?
Yeah, maybe this is where Taylor Heineke proves that he's the guy for Washington. You know, he's not the guy, but maybe he might be.
Well,
you're not that guy.
What was his game-winning drive against the Bucks? It was like 19 plays for like 80 yards or something. It was 10 minutes long. Like you're not going to get those dink and dunk drives.
Washington has Ryan Fitzpatrick and then Ryan Fitzpatrick Light. They have both of them. So I personally think it's a big game because it proves the Panthers are going to be able to fight at all for that NFC South second spot.
Well, it looks like Saints are giving that up. I think Saints are done with that. If Trevor Simeon's going to keep on playing, I don't think that.
As a Saints fan, he has played great. It's not
He
his
really
fault.
actually kind of
It's
has.
not his fault.
But
His
he's not gonna-
receivers
he's-
are god awful.
I know, but he's not. Okay, well, let me back up a little bit, right? It's not more of me saying Trevor Siemian sucks. It's that he's not gonna be the reason your football team goes over 500. If they do, that's just what it is. No Trevor Siemian slander on across the board, but I'm just keeping it a buck with everybody, right? But I think the Panthers could do some really interesting things this year with Cam, right? Um, I don't know about bringing in PJ Walker, but I think having that red zone threat with Cam and just pounding him in there is good. I like that. I don't know about them yet, though. I think I got to see another game. But if Cam keeps saying I'm back after every touchdown, I will tune in every Panthers game this season because that was a pretty hype moment.
Hey, he'll throw for under 200 yards and get a rushing touchdown, and everyone will think he's back.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if his shoulder's all right. Like, if he can throw the ball far, if he can,
I mean, throwing it far has never been his problem. The fact is that he can't throw a slant route that's 5 yards.
He is not accurate.
Then our last game we're looking forward to is Packers Vikings this week.
Now let me just say, because I did find these NFL games looking for this week. Bears Ravens is on the schedule for this week, but I said Vikings over Packers because the Vikings have a shot to like get into that playoff picture if with a win.
That team's not even that bad.
They're really not,
always been like that, like 500, like 9-7, 7-9 team every year. And the games that they've lost this year have been pretty close. Like they're really not that bad. Now maybe that's just the skull Twitter community getting into my blood.
They've also been the only team in the NFL to have like more than a 7-point lead in every single game.
I mean,
they're the Chargers of the East, straight up. They always have a talented team on paper, but they always lose because of stupid stuff. Like,
funny enough, they just beat the Chargers last week, 27.
Yeah, exactly. To see who's really about it.
But I mean, like, here's some of their losses, right? Like, lost the Ravens by a field goal. You lose the Cowboys by 4 points. You lose the Cardinals by 1 point. You lose the Bengals by a field goal. Like, those are all like. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, this team could be in that like 7-3 range right now.
I don't want to be that guy, but they also barely beat the Lions. So
that is also
it's
true.
The duality of man. They can't have one without the other.
They could have easily thought, wow. Oh, that was preseason. I was like, they beat the Chiefs? No, it's preseason. But yeah, like that.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say here is that looking at my handy dandy little spreadsheet, Kirk Cousins currently leads the NFL in PFF passing grade.
Look, he puts up stats, but are you really picking him to be the best quarterback in the league?
In garbage time? Hell yeah.
The stats don't lie, man. It's not even the stats. They do it on a play-by-play basis. So, like, when the games matter, he's making the plays.
I'm sorry, but it's Kirk Cousins.
It is Kirk Cousins.
It's Kirk Cousins.
Hey, relax.
Look, he's going to beat the Bears because it's the Bears, but Kirk Cousins is still Kirk Cousins.
What? I think we got to end our NFL segment off with Kirk Cousins is just Kirk Cousins. Unless anybody has anything else to say, we will transition into some college football.
I would just like to say I'm pretty sure I was the only person who said the Chiefs shouldn't panic, and now they're top. You know, after 3 weeks ago where, you know, the whole organization was falling apart, Andy Reid was going to be fired, they were going to have to cut Patrick Mahomes.
You weren't the only person that said that. I was telling everybody that they're going to turn it around.
All right, turning it around might be a little, iffy. However, they are top of the AFC West now, and I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, that AFC West division's a bloodbath, but
Chargers fell off, Raiders fell off, Broncos fell off, so the Chiefs still be fine.
Yeah, next week we're gonna be talking about the Chargers because I thought they were supposed to be like contenders this year with their new coach and all that, but that's not. So we gotta move on to some college football. CFP. You can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm not going to rip into you this week. But I may after this Michigan State-Ohio State game because this is a big matchup, right?
Not even going to be close.
I think personally, I have Ohio State. Well, I mean, it's a big matchup on paper. I still have Ohio State by like 10 points at least. But it's still a big matchup.
Well, you see, the way that I was talking to Kai about this in class today, if Cade McNamara can dice up the Michigan State secondary, I don't think CJ Stroud's going to have much trouble doing the same thing. He's a little bit better than Cade McNamara. Honestly, I think this game is going to be like a blowout. I'd see like 48-21 or something like that.
My only question is I think that Michigan State could be able to run the ball over Ohio State. Their run defense isn't as good as their pass defense.
Who cares? They can't pass
Michigan
the ball
State
very
also
well.
has Heisman candidate Kenneth Walker.
Heisman candidate. He was in the transfer portal.
I'm just saying. Wait, he transferred to Michigan State, or he's
Yeah, it's a joke with my friends.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like we watched that Michigan State game, and literally every time that he touched the ball, they would be like, "Yeah, he was a transfer, and he's gonna win the Heisman."
Where did he transfer from?
I think it was Wake Forest or
Uh-huh.
something. Or no, was
They
it
have
Wake
so many
Forest?
transfers on that team.
It might have
Yeah.
been, honestly. Yeah, let me look it up.
That's why. Well, while you look that up, we can also talk about number 4 Oregon, or no, number 3 Oregon now, right? Number 3.
Yeah,
They're number
Number
three.
3. Number 3 Oregon versus Utah.
State.
Right.
State. Are they good? I don't even know.
Utah State. No, it's Utah Utes.
Is
Oh.
it that I accidentally put State? I
No,
apologize.
yeah, it's the Utes. It's the Utes. It's not the Aggies.
That makes way more sense why I thought I saw Ohio State or Utah State and went, oh, that doesn't sound as nearly
Yeah.
as cool as I saw.
No,
There's a lot of
it's the Utes.
states.
So
I think the
hold
Utes
on.
are going to pull off an upset. 'Cause
That's
I think
what I
Oregon
was
are
thinking.
frauds.
Thank you.
And
Utah?
I'm 1-0 on my
Utah's ranked number 23
frauds.
in the CFP rankings.
They are 3-point
yeah?
favorites in this game. Utah is.
Oh, they're
No
favored?
shot. What?
Nice.
No way.
Yeah, there we go, boys.
Yeah, that's Vegas for
Are they
you, baby.
Are they playing in Utah? They are
Yes.
playing in Utah. Wow. Are you serious? Have we ever seen that before? From that big?
I'm gonna be honest. The only thing I think of when I hear Oregon Utah is that big touchdown where the guy dropped it like at the goal line, and then Oregon scored off of it back in like 2015. That's what I think of when I think this game.
I think the only thing that is giving this game justice is that it's at 7:30 and not like 11 o'clock at night. Like we're
Pac-12,
actually,
baby.
like Pac-12 actually has primetime action. Are you serious?
That should be a really good game.
I'm actually really excited to watch that one because I want to see Oregon lose, because if Oregon loses, Cincinnati's in the top 4. So, or does the committee put Michigan State back in the top 4 if they beat Ohio State?
If they beat Ohio State,
If they
deserve
beat
to be in
Ohio
the
State,
top
yes.
4. Yeah.
I've already said. I don't know if I said it on the show or not, but I have said Cincinnati's best path is having Oregon lose. Their best
Yeah.
path to get in is having Oregon lose because
Well, because
Alabama or
only-
Georgia.
Because only one of Ohio State. Oh, okay. Here's the thing: if Georgia and Alabama win out, they're in. Because they'll play each other in the SEC championship, and whoever loses that will go number 4 or number 3.
Maybe.
Right.
No,
Oregon-
no 2-loss team though has been in the in the playoffs.
That's because Alabama hasn't lost 2 games yet.
Well,
I
my
understand
thing is-
that.
yeah, well, here's the thing, Chase. They shouldn't have been ranked number 2 to begin with. If they're ranked number 4, I agree.
I'm
with
okay with them being 2 because they're probably the second best team. Honestly, I would say Ohio State just because they have blown everybody out. But
even by their criteria, though, like shouldn't. Well, no. Well, you can't put Ohio State above Oregon because of head-to-head. They obviously value that. So
they
you
lost to
can't-
Stanford.
Yeah,
that game shouldn't matter
I'm
anymore.
not the committee. All I'm
Look,
saying is,
I was gonna go off on the committee because Oklahoma's only 13. They shouldn't even be ranked because they're terrible.
Shut your mouth. Oh no, are we getting into it now? Oh boy, I had a whole thing planned for. Let me just. I gotta.
oh, you got it. Okay, Austin. The floor
So you
is
wish
yours.
to talk about Oklahoma football, huh? It
Okay,
does.
unranked. I was kidding about the unranked part, but they
First,
they
you
should
don't
have
want
lost to
Spencer
Kansas.
Rattler to play games. You like Caleb Williams. He plays really well. All of a sudden, Caleb Williams doesn't play too hot, and now you want to go back to him? That doesn't.
I didn't want to go. I never said that. First off,
That
it's
was-
Baylor
they were-
fans who said it.
Whatever. Who cares? I don't care. I simply do not care. The
I'm
fact
just-
that Oklahoma lost that game and only scored 13 points is an embarrassment to the legacy that they have built over the past 5 years. When I tune into an Oklahoma football game, I want points to be scored. That's the only reason they're my favorite team. They play in the Big 12.
You know who scored points? Baylor,
Baylor.
because Oklahoma are frauds.
I guess. It's just like I'm literally having an existential crisis up here about being an Oklahoma fan because they've literally been the antithesis of everything that I've loved about them over the past 5 years.
Hey, it's okay. Rattler's going to transfer. You're going to get some other stud 5-star, and you're going to try to bench Caleb Williams and probably lose next year.
Caleb Williams is not bad. He's good. He just the way I put it, I think Oklahoma quarterbacks always pick the worst time to have bad games. They have no sense of occasion.
Look, I'll be honest. That Oklahoma O-line's terrible.
It's not great.
That doesn't help anyone. They have like tackles who move to center. So I totally understand that Oklahoma is terrible. But
Oklahoma isn't even the best football team in Oklahoma. It's the Cowboys right now, who are ranked number 9 by CFP.
It's bonkers. Don't worry.
Oklahoma State's going to beat them. Don't worry.
When do they play? When is that? Is
That's rivalry week. That's the last one.
It's next week.
It's what's always going to happen with Oklahoma last year. They're going to stutter a little bit in a big game, and then they're going to dominate the rest of the year and win their bowl game by like 40. And they'll be like, oh, Caleb Williams coming into his second year of the same system, and then he's going to suck, and then they'll pick some other random 5-star to replace him. It's what happens every year. I'm tired of this. Just win the championship already.
That's okay. It'll get blown up by Alabama.
That is, you're going to get blown out by some SEC school, whether it's Alabama, Georgia, or LSU when they decide to have an on year.
To a couple years down the line when they actually have to play Alabama every year.
Oh, you're looking forward to that.
When they actually do go unranked every year. Oh, I can't wait for that either.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. I'll be having even more existential crises. I just don't. Next segment. I'm out.
Yeah. So just to continue this, right? Oregon, if they don't lose against Utah, they play against Oregon State. Then they'll play the Pac-12 championship. Which
I could see them losing any 3 of those games, honestly.
Well, how it's looking is they'll probably play Utah twice. One this week, and then in the conference championship. So, Cincinnati fans need to root for Oregon, because it's looking like Ohio State, Michigan, or Michigan State will probably one of those 3 that get that 4 spot, unless they lose the Big Ten championship. But is there anything else? We have Austin's blown a blood vessel. He needs to get some crackers to calm himself down. Anything else about college football? Right here.
Yep.
We talk about Mel Tucker got a 10-year $95 million deal.
He is I believe the headline was he's like the biggest contract for a minority coach.
I don't know if that'll work out, but
10 years.
Hey, I don't know how long he's been there.
I think a year.
But they've had
started last year, I think.
Yeah, I think he just started last year. So you beat Michigan and you get a 10-year contract. Is that how it works?
They also had like no expectations, and now they're top 10.
That's true.
Could this be like a 1-year wonder, like Ed Orgeron and LSU?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know if Ed Orgeron's a 1-year wonder, though.
I would agree with that.
I don't know if he's a 1 year.
It took having
Joe
I feel like
and Jamar Chase on the
any coach could have taken them there.
And Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like, they had everyone.
Oh, and Derek Stingley Jr.
They had like 6 first-round prospects in their defense.
And Grant Delpit would have gone first round if he didn't get injured.
That's true.
So, all right.
You couldn't lose a game with that team if you tried. Listen,
I'm gonna root.
And
I'll root for Mel Tucker. I'll root for Mel Tucker, right? Because
it's also college football. And since they can't ever afford to pay any player anything, he'll get cut 3 years into this and be paying it out for 30 years. It's not a big deal.
That's my thing too. Is like you're just giving out 10-year, $95 million deals, and you're tweaking about some players wanting to get some sponsorship money or like somebody getting like $200 loan. Like NCAA do better.
I would also like to say one more thing. Georgia's probably gonna get beat because Drake's backing him now. I saw that just before we started the show.
I thought the Drake curse was broken. I thought the Drake curse was broken because Toronto won.
It could be, but in my heart, I still think the Drake curse is real. But
I just feel like Georgia loses like every year, but also this team just seems really OP. Like
it's the 99 overall defense.
Like this team, like they haven't really shown
down. The mic's down for Austin.
I was doing that dramatically. I didn't have any. Oh no, I hate teams that are only. I hate teams that are only good. I hate teams that are only good on defense. I think Georgia, if they have to like play from behind, they're gonna lose. They don't have a good
But they
quarterback.
don't give up points.
Yeah,
How
they
are they
don't-
going
they
to play
don't-
from
I
behind?
think their
This is
closest
different
game
from Iowa.
I am a firm believer that offense always beats good offense always beats good defense in the long run.
Okay,
I think that
I will make a bet with you. I don't know what the terms will be. We'll have to wear something crazy on the show. Me and you, Georgia is not going to lose because they have to play from behind because they'll never play from behind.
don't worry. When
That's bold.
Ohio State wins the national championship, nah. I'm
Okay,
kidding. Nah.
Cincinnati. Let's be honest here.
Oh no,
they're
they'd
gonna go
crush
down to 40.
they'd crush Cincinnati. Yeah.
Well, moving on from college football, we're transition to some college basketball. Right, so we're getting the season's heating up. We had the Seton Hall Pirates beat the Michigan Wolverines 67 to 65.
Can I just catch a break this podcast? Like,
You really can. We are
Okay.
slandering the state
there's-
of Michigan's athletics. Like,
Michigan,
Oklahoma,
Cleveland,
Falcons.
and the Falcons. I just can't win. I can't win.
Okay, the Michigan one, I mean, Seton Hall was unranked and they lost.
They're
Given it's by
usually
2.
ranked. They're
And it's
usually
early.
ranked. Yeah, Seton Hall's
they'll
actually a
get
really
there.
good
They'll
program.
get
They're
there.
usually ranked. They're usually ranked like in the teens.
Yeah, I'm not
So-
super worried about this one.
I mean, it's
also-
early season college
Yeah,
basketball.
also it's college. They play like 30-some games.
Yeah,
Like,
Michigan lost a lot of talent this offseason,
Yeah.
so I mean they'll
But
probably
they
get it
gained,
together.
they gained a lot
Um,
too because they did have the
Yeah, they just need to mesh
But-
together. They'll
Yeah.
be fine.
BYU
I mean,
beats
it-
Oregon by
Oh,
like
not
30.
beat. They
Like, they
they
smacked
ran
them.
through them.
They snapped them,
bad.
bro. They got some athletes, bro.
I
and then
actually
go
went
ahead.
back and watched that one. Oregon couldn't stop anything.
Yeah,
if it
they
was a pick
couldn't.
and roll, if it was a dude, they missed like 4 dudes standing in the corner and like would just look at him, and the BYU dude would like he could have done a free throw routine standing in the corner. Like it was crazy.
Yeah. And then the last one you have here, Marquette beats Illinois. What was I say? 67-66.
The thing about that is Kofi Coburn's out right now. So like
Yeah, he
once
was
he
out.
comes back, they win that game if he's back.
For sure. Yeah. Interesting.
There also was another one. Ohio State lost last night. Obviously, it didn't.
I didn't realize they were like good this year. Like,
They really haven't looked great.
They were good last.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
ranked.
They have it's EJ Liddell, and I couldn't tell you another player on the roster.
Yeah. we have. Where's that game at? Where was the game that I was just about to talk about? I thought it was this week. Is it not this week? Hold on. Pause. Pause production. What is going on? I had a whole thing set up here.
It was the 1v2.
Ah,
we
yes,
talked
there
about
it is. Yeah, I
UCLA
didn't know-
Gonzaga.
It wasn't showing up. It's on the 23rd. That's my big game that I have circled. Which is gonna be at
10 p.m. baby.
10
It's West
10
Coast.
p.m. 10 p.m. Yeah. Not even Pac-12. Pac-12 and whack, bro. Like,
It's still West Coast.
it's the whack.
I wonder if Gonzaga will actually have to go to the Pac-12 at least.
Why
in
would? Why
basketball.
do they need to? They get all these recruits. They have all this money, and they're always number one in the nation because they don't play anybody. But that's the big game. Some other ones, some notable ones tomorrow. You have Villanova, number 5 Villanova taking on number 17 Tennessee, number 18 North Carolina taking on number 6 Purdue. Tyler, I know you're a Purdue fan, so you're probably looking forward to that one. But yeah, it's still really early in the college basketball season. So, like you guys said, they play like 30-some games. These losses, these upsets don't really matter as much as football, but I'm really looking forward to that UCLA Gonzaga game.
I was looking it up because I wasn't sure, but Gonzaga actually plays 2 huge games next week. They also play Duke.
Ooh,
The
Holgram
tough-
versus
So they-
Paulo.
Paulo. Well, wait, Chase might have some news on Paulo if you want to go into that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't actually know like the full story, but as Bleacher Report so kindly put it, Coach K's nephew or whatever it was, and
his
Paulo
grandson.
Banchero, grandson,
Who
and
was there
Paulo
on a
Banchero.
scholarship? I think that's the funniest part of the whole story.
Wait.
they-
Coach K's grandson was on scholarship?
He's Coach K's grandson, of course he was.
But they didn't even
Anyway,
they didn't
anyway,
even care
anyway.
to name him? Yeah, go ahead.
I can't remember what the name was, obviously, because I only care about the NBA prospects in college basketball for the
Yeah.
most part. They got pulled over and with a DWI. I don't believe it was a
DWI,
DUI. It was a
yeah.
DWI. But Paulo Banchero was not driving, but he was fully aware that the grandson was under
The influence.
influence. So that's why Michael Severino. I need to actually say his name.
No, his name's Coach K's grandson. His name is Coach
we
K's
respect
grandson.
all players on this
who's
podcast.
there on scholarship.
But they were. I don't know the full details of it. I don't even know if anything's really been released. I don't think anything will come of it.
Didn't Paulo play too?
Yeah, he played like the next day.
Yeah.
So he's chilling. I actually want to talk about, because Chase and I were talking about this the other day. But it's gonna go into our NBA segment actually. But Gonzaga has Chet Holmgren, right? Chet Holmgren is probably the top NBA prospect right now. There's about to be some slander, but it's not really his fault. He's 7 feet, 190 pounds.
Not his fault. Do we need to talk about you like sending me a screenshot and said you see this man staring you down the post and you're not gonna?
That's barbecue chicken, bro. If I see him in the post, that's barbecue chicken. No, I think that we were talking about it because we were like, yeah, the Rockets actually have some talent, right? But who are they taking for? If it's Chet Holmgren, I think Chet needs to stay another year. This could be a hot take that we see down the line, but I think Chet needs to stay another year. 7 feet, 190 is not going to cut it in the NBA. That's when you're gonna get your undersized fours that are just gonna post you up.
He's slower too.
He's slow.
That's what scares me. He's like a Luka Garza, where everyone who loves college basketball is like, he's gonna be late round pick for the NBA. And you watched one game and you knew the kid was gonna get toasted if he ever went.
The thing with Holmgren though is it's like KD, that skill set that he has doesn't come in a package
not
that
fast enough though.
His dribble's super loose too. Like he has great passing. He's got like a lot of moves. Obviously needs fine tune. He's what, 18, 19?
He's young. That's what I'm saying.
Years old.
Yeah, but like he's got a great skill set for the NBA that if it pans out, he will be terrific. He's also got great defensive timing. Like if you watch his blocks, he doesn't foul. Like he's actually meeting people at the rim, but he's timing it correctly.
I think the big thing is weight for me. He's got to bulk up, and I don't know if he can bulk up enough in that 1 year.
He just needs to get with Zion.
He needs to get on the Zion. He needs to get on the Zion. Chicken.
How to become an NFL offensive lineman?
Zion at D end would be deadly. That first step.
He's bigger than most defensive ends. He'd be an offensive lineman.
Have you guys seen that picture of Zion when he got drafted first overall? He just had that tear while he was getting interviewed. I saw somebody on Twitter take that picture and they were like, "We're serving the food alphabetically," and it was like Zion Williams. The tear.
I saw the one thing that Charles Barkley said about him, where he was like, "That looks like me," and Shaq had a baby.
Saw that.
Okay. Hey, Zion, if you're listening, we hope
please
you have
come
a good
on the
recovery. Show. Yeah, obviously that, but yeah, we hope you have a good recovery. We're just, you're a great player.
I'm still on the Zion train, by the way. Just want to say that. I hope he stops getting hurt. He's so talented.
But yeah, I mean, you're telling me like Chet gets drafted by the Houston Rockets, and like you have
the guy
Zion. And bro,
he's a stud, bro.
He's the Turkish MVP, bro.
You always take the best player available, and right now it's Chet Holmgren in a weak class, in my opinion. That could be a topic for another day. But I think he needs to stay another year.
If Amani Bates was eligible to be drafted this year, I feel like I think it's crazy. He has to like stay another year.
2 years of Amani Bates in college.
He is cooking people at Memphis. I've watched all their games.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
17.
His shot is so fast, but it's so low. That's
he's the one I think is KD, not Holmgren.
Oh yeah, he's been getting compared to KD since he was like in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Like
everyone, if you're tall and can shoot and dribble, you're a KD.
When's the last time we saw a good like NBA prospect like this get to stay in college for more than 1 year?
Never. No one.
I am excited. I'm so happy that the college basketball scene, not the NCAA.
This is not the NCAA's fault. It's he reclassified as a junior to graduate.
I said I'm happy for college basketball scene. I'm not happy for the NCAA. We have beef, okay? We have beef. But that's topic for another day.
I was gonna say if you're congratulating them for Amani deciding he wanted to play 2 years
saying
of
I'm
college.
I'm happy for the college basketball viewers because we're getting like a star. Like I can't wait until this kid is a sophomore next year at like 18 years old. I'm saying he's dropping like 30 a game. Honestly, I think he's gonna be amazing.
That's tough to do.
Man, we haven't seen a prospect of this level stay in college for more than a year. Like he's gonna get the jitters out, and he's just gonna go out there and play. I'm excited. But moving on, we're gonna transition to some NBA now, right? So, we're talking about some way too early MVP leaders. I was listening to a podcast the other day that somebody had DeRozan third on their MVP list. I thought that was interesting over Jokic. We can
I don't
talk
see
about
that as wrong.
Are you kidding me?
Oh God, we can talk about it. We can talk. That's why I brought it up. We'll talk about some upcoming games, some past games, and some trends. So whoever wants to start there, we can start on the way too early MVP because Austin, I want to hear your
One thing that I need to get out of the way. The only person you should think is MVP right now is Steph Curry, and if you have
Correct.
any
I
other
agree.
opinion, you are wrong.
I said he had DeRozan
Secondly.
at third.
At third over Jokic? Are you joking me? Nikola Jokic is literally playing better than he did last year, and he already had like the third highest box plus minus of all time.
Okay.
I'm not even joking.
It's the NBA. Nobody cares what you did last year. It's about the storyline. That's how the MVP works. Unfortunately, I do agree Jokic has been better stat-wise and, seeing him. And I think he's done putting up with anything. I mean, grew up on the Eastern Bloc. You don't kick a man in his ribs and not expect retaliation.
Nuggets versus Heat soon. Morris brothers versus Jokic brothers. They need to have
Jokic gonna put 40. But anyway, I think I'm the biggest Bulls hater on this podcast, and I will stand next to that statement, mostly because I have a vendetta against their fans and nothing more. But DeRozan has been terrific, and I had no problem with them signing him. I just didn't see how it was going to fit. Him and LaVine have been tearing up the East.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's obviously DeMar DeRozan has been playing well. I've always never been a fan of his game. But I think, is he playing better than Zach LaVine? I haven't really paid too much attention.
It's about the same. I don't know. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's about the same.
You guys keep talking. I'll pull up the stats. Keep talking.
I think DeRozan's averaging more. I know that.
He's got like 28 a game.
Yeah.
I think DeRozan's got like 28 and LaVine's maybe 25, 26.
26.6, 5 boards, 4 assists. 50% from the field. 35 from 3, 87 from the free throw.
That's DeRozan.
Yeah,
what about
DeRozan.
LaVine?
Bringing LaVine. Hold on.
Yeah, let me I just need to know.
DeRozan in the mid game, by the way, he's gonna get whatever bucket he wants. Like he's getting a shot.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he can. If you want to say he doesn't shoot threes and all that, first off, he can. Second off, he just doesn't want to.
Yeah,
like he said that.
He took 5 or 6 against the Trailblazers the other night, which I was surprised.
Yeah, he's taking them. He's taking them.
Real quick,
But
LaVine,
he's also
26.2, 5.7 boards, 3.7 assists, 49 from the field, 40 from 3. About the same.
But he's going to be a better shooter. LaVine is
a better shooter. Yeah.
Honestly, he's one of the best shooters in the NBA, and I don't think people talk about it enough.
No.
I think he's just really good at shot creation more than anything.
He just never got the respect because the Bulls were always bad.
Okay, I still don't respect the Bulls, and I'll stand by that. But I'll save that rant for another day. The DeRozan at third, I don't think is like that crazy.
Who's your biggest?
Second? He's the biggest signing.
Who's your number
obviously,
2?
If it's not KD, you're on that pack. Like
I have KD 3.
So you have Jokic 2?
Yeah, I have Jokic 2.
Okay, I actually appreciate that because Jokic has been playing better than KD.
Have the same order then. If you
have
have Steph,
I have DeRozan 4, but yeah, that's my top 4. Is Curry,
I was say I had
Jokic.
Curry, Jokic, KD as my 3.
OddsShark
still has DeMar DeRozan at plus 4,000 odds to win the MVP.
He's not gonna win the MVP.
I mean, you want some money, but
he's
not
if DeMar.
Okay,
how about if DeMar DeRozan wins NBA MVP, I will never watch an Oklahoma football game again.
I think the bigger thing is Jimmy Butler is like 5th in most people's. Like he's being talked about as a candidate for it.
I mean, he's not having a bad season.
He had a triple-double last night.
Well.
Yeah, I love Jimmy Butler.
And they're top of the East. 11-5. They're tied with the
I don't
Nets.
see him as an MVP candidate.
Well, the advanced numbers do. I can.
That's true.
Give me some time to pull up the advanced, some Raptor stuff.
He's gonna have great stats. He's gonna have the whole like top team. But I think the Heat are more of like a team, more than just a player.
For sure. But should we? But I mean, we know Jimmy's a big leadership guy. We know he's obviously like the culture of that team. Like, don't we think we should put that into consideration?
I know he's 25, 5 and 5, but he's probably going to keep that, and his points might dip a little, if anything.
Yeah, 24.8, 5.6, 5.5, 53 from the field, 30 from 3, 86 from the free throw line.
He's going to be around that all year. I just don't see him as an MVP.
I think I'm more of a guy that looks past the numbers and like I know like that's Jimmy's team. He is the heart and soul of that team, and he is the leader.
No, it's Heat culture.
If that team gets the number 1 seed and he keeps those numbers, I would not be mad if he were really up there in consideration. Now that's saying if Curry's play dips and Jokic plays dips, which the way Curry's looking this year.
Hey, Curry's not dipping. There's no shot. Curry will not dip.
All I'm saying
Talk about my boy Steph.
I wish I was a Warriors fan because that is unfair.
That's the only thing that has been keeping my mental health needed the Warriors to be good because all my other teams were bad. And I have been so happy. That fourth quarter, I don't know if you guys saw, they outscored the Cavaliers in the fourth quarter of that game 36-8.
They did.
There was a run. Let me pull it up. They had a run where here it is. The Warriors were down. This is by Worldwide Wob. If you don't follow him on Twitter, highly recommend.
Yeah.
They were down 13 during the comeback. Steph was on the floor. It was a Steph 3, then a Steph 3, then a Steph 3, and then a Damian Lee 2, and then a Steph assist, a Steph 2, a Steph 2. Lee had a 3 and a 2 back-to-back, and then it was Steph, a Steph assist, sorry, and then a Steph, and then Steph.
I mean,
yeah.
I think one name sticks out there.
I need to shout something out real quick. I saw this really interesting. If none of you guys know who Thinking Basketball is, he's a YouTuber who does like advanced analytics basketball stuff.
Yeah, I love him.
He did a thing on Steph Curry last night, and he genuinely like created 33 consecutive points of wide open offense without registering more than 2 assists. It was insane. I recommend you all watch that video. But just it's his gravity. It's just something that will completely demolish any preconceptions of what you have of what defense is in the NBA.
It doesn't help that he doesn't stop moving. Like he has all that gravity towards him, and then he'll wait for you to turn your head, and then he's behind you wide open.
All I'm saying is they got Steph, but they also got Young Glove, the Mitten,
The Young Glove.
leading that bench. Yeah, he said
They got Pool Party.
Gary Payton II came out and he was like, "Yeah, I like when people call me Young Glove because it sounds like young blood." I thought that was funny. But I like the Mitten too. I think that's
The Mitten.
the Mitten.
His agent wants him to be called the Young Glove. I've communicated with some sources and
You've communicated with some. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
No, but that team, I mean,
Okay.
Warriors basketball.
I want to go from good to bad, if that's okay, Kai.
Oh, are you gonna talk about the peep? You're gonna talk about the team? Are you gonna
I'd
say
love
the thing?
to if you're allowed.
Yeah, say the thing. Say the
All
thing.
right. So there's a podcast I listen to, and this is how I'm going to lead this. It's called The Mismatch. It's got Kevin O'Connor and Chris Vernon.
Is that a Ringer show?
It is a Ringer show.
Yeah.
But I love both of them. They're complete opposites, and it makes for a great podcast to listen to. However, during this week, there was a segment where they were talking about like the Timberwolves, the Pistons, and the Rockets came up. And I would highly recommend listening to it. It starts about like the 45-minute mark.
God, it was amazing.
It goes for like 8 minutes.
Amazing.
But Chris Vernon went on a rant about the worst team in the NBA, the Houston Rockets. How John Wall is this leader. He's getting $40 million a year, and they're not playing him because he asked not to play. And
I wish I got $40 million to not do my job.
And he's traveling with the team. Like they sat all their veterans. They're playing all these young guys who are just traveling throughout the league, getting smacked by.
What do we say? Throwing them out to the Wolves?
Yeah, throwing them out to the Wolves.
I think they have one player in their starting lineup who's shooting over 40% from the field.
Yeah, pretty much the whole point of this is the Rockets are throwing these guys' careers away. Like you're throwing out all these young guys without a point guard, by the way. Your backcourt is Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green, neither of which are a true point guard. And you're having them take these bad shots under no offense with no true point guard. And you're just saying, go play. We got draft picks. Yeah. We can wait.
I want to add on to that. The Rockets are 1-14. And what I thought was the funniest part of this whole story is that they are on pace to be worse than the Bobcats team. In that lockout year.
Was it 2012?
I think so.
Bobcats?
And the best part about all of this is who coached that Bobcats team? Paul Silas, the father of Steven Silas, the current coach of the worst team in the NBA right now.
Steven Silas is going to get fired. It's not even his fault.
History is doomed to repeat itself.
It's amazing. The Silas family cannot catch a break.
It was the 2011-2012.
They were in a lockout year, though, weren't they? I mean, that was still terrible.
They also had Kemba. That was Kemba's rookie year.
Oh, it's not Kemba's
I'll
fault.
never forget. Bismack Biyombo,
Yep.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and
Kidd-Gilchrist.
Ramon Sessions, I thought was on there
Gerald
too.
Henderson.
Gerald Henderson, yeah.
Cody Zeller, I think. towards the end there.
That was like way before. This had like Boris Diaw, DJ Augustine was there.
Who was on that 76ers team that purposely
Yeah,
tanked?
that was at the 2015.
That was Michael
DJ
Carter
McConnell.
He was on that team?
The ghost.
Oh, man. Yeah, that seems bad.
I looked up. I was looking at strength of schedule, and the funniest part about it is like it has like when you look up on Tankathon, it has like toughest, easiest. Every single team, the easiest is the Rockets. All of them.
I mean, yeah.
And the only team who doesn't is the Rockets. So I mean, they're so
That's
bad. But
Yeah,
I can't give that rant enough. Like just listen to it. It's at like the 45-minute mark, and it's the greatest rant I've ever heard. Like,
I think the best part about this is that the Rockets being so bad has clouded our vision on the Pelicans being so bad, who are just one more win than them at 2-14.
I know, but the
It's an
Rockets look even
embarrassment,
worse. At least the Pelicans can get a lead. They can't keep it, but they can get a lead.
They have talent.
They have Herb
They've
Jones.
had talent for like
They
4
got Herb.
years.
They got Brandon Ingram, Valanciunas.
Herb Jones. That's what they said in that podcast. So I thought it was funny. Like, they got Herb Jones. And they listed off like 3 more players, and they're like, they got Herb Jones.
Still got Herb Jones.
That's the KOC special. Just every young player has that potential.
I liked Herb when he was at Alabama. I'm just saying. I never called anything. Or anything. I never said he was going to be amazing, but I liked him in Alabama.
I got Herb Jones.
I went to one Pelicans game. I'll never give up on Kira Lewis after that game.
Aw, dude. I want him to be good
too.
so badly.
I can't give up on him.
He's also from Alabama. I forgot about that too. Yeah.
He's fast. He's so fast.
Wow. That is that's interesting. All right, well, let's talk about some upcoming games this week. Or just upcoming games throughout the week, I should say.
Do we have any? Let's check the NBA schedule.
Yeah, that's silly.
I'm correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're all just looking for it.
Pacers Hornets tonight. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
What I put on the outline is everyone's favorite thing.
Oh,
and mine was just gonna be Steph and trying to watch Warriors clips. I could care less about the games, but that dude is just on a tear. And I'll say it every week.
I will say my favorite team that I've been watching right now has been the Hornets.
They're always
watching LaMelo Watching LaMelo run that offense is just beautiful. Throwing lobs to Nick Richards and just it's awesome. Now
my favorite thing has been kind of piggybacking off Chase. I have watched all of the Warriors games, and dude, they play basketball so much better than everyone
Warriors
else.
Basketball is back.
I told y'all. I told you at the beginning.
I agreed
of the
with
season.
you. Look, I will fight with you in college football, but I agree with you with the Warriors.
But it's just I've always maintained that when the Warriors are good and they're playing their brand of basketball, it is good for the NBA.
Yeah.
And just the way that they win and the way that they play offense, especially, is just so gratifying to watch. It's so satisfying. And to top it off, my favorite athlete ever is playing as well as he's ever played. So it's like, what more could I ask for?
And Steph's just such a likable guy.
I wonder.
I would say behind Giannis, I think he's the most likable guy in the NBA.
If the Warriors stay at the number one and Steph keeps averaging what he averages, is this better than his unanimous MVP year?
I don't think he'll ever be better than that. Honestly, on a rate basis, no. He's still almost 2 BPM below what he was at his MVP year. And
I know that year was unbelievable.
Advanced analytics wise, like Austin said, can't beat that year. Storyline perspective and just like overall like wildness factor, I think so. I mean, he makes everybody better. Like it's honestly insane. Like is this a bad comparison? But like I think of him almost as like the Tom Brady effect. Like Tom makes maybe not recently, but throughout his career, Tom has made everybody look better. Like he can throw to anybody, he can play with anybody, and that's how I see Steph.
If you're saying in terms of culture, I can agree, but I can't on court because Steph does things that like if you're comparing NFL NBA, Steph does things Tom Brady can't.
Well,
Tom Brady
I'm
couldn't scramble for the 35 like spin a dude out, but Steph could.
Yeah.
Like if we're staying in that, he just does things that you shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, more along the lines of he just makes everybody better, and if you can't play with Steph Curry, there's a problem.
I think the way that I view Steph is that while LeBron is the greatest floor raiser in NBA history, nobody is a better ceiling raiser than Steph Curry. If you put him on a good team, the amount of which he will contribute is no one else will even, honestly, in my opinion, come close.
I think he also benefits from that warrior system that we talked about, though.
Yeah,
it's all movement and like
cutting,
you play as a team, and with all that movement, Curry gets open more. Now, I'm not saying if he had to ISO because he proved it last year that he can ISO and still carry it.
Even this year, I think he's like a 97th percentile isolation scorer. Like,
oh yeah. If he gets a dude who's just a slightly slow-footed player,
it's over. Yeah, my middle school coach would be drooling at all that movement. The Warriors do. It's honestly insane.
I'll never forget my 7th grade coach yelling at a player that if you wanted to watch your shot so much, you need to go buy a ticket, and then pulled him.
Just talk about some upcoming games though. We have Bulls Nuggets tonight at 9.
Jokic is going to have the game of his life against Tony Bradley, and I'm not looking forward to it.
It's BBQ chicken.
That's why you're a Bulls fan. That's why you're shaking.
That's BBQ chicken. You have Heat Wizards again tomorrow.
When did the Nuggets play the Heat? Is that this
I think
week?
it's a 29.
It's later.
It's at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got that one circled, baby.
Hey, Lake Show comes to town on the 24th. Play the Pacers.
Oh, I can't wait to watch the Lakers blow them out.
What? The Lakers suck.
They do, but so do the Pacers.
That's that.
Suns Nets on the 27th. Suns are on a 10-game winning streak. Yeah.
By the time we have our next show, the NBA is going to be in a spot to where we can start actually projecting stuff.
Yeah.
Because they'll be 20-some in.
And one more thing, I do believe that the 76ers and Golden State Warriors are playing sometime in the next couple days. So
yes, they are Wednesday on the 24th at 10 p.m.
Wednesday on the 24th.
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard of this, but I didn't add it. It was last night I saw it. There was a reporter from Detroit who was speculating on a Jeremy Grant young player filler and picks for Ben Simmons.
Who?
Oh, I saw that.
You're gonna trade Killian Hayes for Ben?
I never said I believed it, but I saw it.
He had
a little check mark. He had a check mark.
Well, his check mark verified. You could say a lot of. Adam, there was literally this the anniversary of it. Adam Schefter tweeted that Condoleezza Rice or something was gonna be the Browns head coach, or the Browns were interested in her, and I think she's
Condoleezza Rice.
Yes.
Yeah, she was a government. Yeah,
yes.
She was a government official.
She's a government person, and she was the Browns are interested in her for a head coaching position. It was the 1 year anniversary of that, today or yesterday. So just because you have a check mark,
hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying maybe there's more Ben Simmons stuff floating out there.
I don't want to talk about Ben Simmons.
Neither do I. But I saw it.
It was worth noting.
Can we? I know we're a little bit past time, but I mean, if you guys don't have to go, we keep talking.
This has been the freak out show.
I wanted to bring up the whole cat situation. Where do the T-Wolves go from here? Because it doesn't really seem like Cat's gonna.
Was it it was the Twitter thing where he?
Yeah, he liked it. He
everything
liked saying
okay.
Yeah,
he looks miserable.
He doesn't look like he's having fun. That team doesn't look like they're gelling at all together. He liked that tweet saying "Free Cat." I guess where do the Timberwolves go from here?
I know me and you personally share the same stance of phenomenal, talented player.
He's
with
a second
the
option,
worst
though.
possible mentality.
He cannot be a leader on a team. He cannot be a leader on a team.
I don't think he can be a 2. That's where we slightly disagree. He can be talent-wise your second best player, but
he has to be.
He's been the best player on the Timberwolves for a long time. in
But
my
they
opinion.
have what's their most games they've won? Like 20?
Yeah, no, he's not. I think Kyle Anthony Towns is extremely good, but that leadership, it's real. I mean, he's not
It's real.
He doesn't play on winning teams.
It's true. There's a reason that the one time that Jimmy Butler was there, I mean, they barely win the playoffs. Like, they got there. Go ahead,
And
Tyler.
got smacked.
I think the issue is if you trade Karl Anthony Towns, you're going to have to trade D'Angelo Russell because you're going to be fed up too.
I would love to build around Anthony Edwards, just his mentality of I'm going to go at you.
Yep.
Like, that's better than anything Cat's had. I'm not saying Anthony Edwards is a better player than Cat. Personally, I think Anthony Edwards would be as good as he is. He's terrible in efficiency, and I don't like that at all. But I'd much rather build around someone who's going to be like, all right, boys, let's go out and win, or at least try to win, instead of walking back whenever he's not giving the ball.
Like, Anthony Edwards has that dog mentality. Like, that's like the John Morant. Like, John Morant has that dog mentality. Like,
John Morant's way better than Anthony Edwards.
He is way better. That's what I'm saying. He's way better than Anthony Edwards. But when you have that dog mentality about you, you go out there and you want to win a game. Like, where your team feels like they have that chip on their shoulder. Like, it makes you have pride. It makes you want to win the game. I remember the last time I watched a T-Wolves game where they went out. They really wanted to show that they wanted to win for themselves.
This might be a weird comp, but it's more of the mentality of it. Cat reminds me of King's DeMarcus Cousins. He's gonna get his numbers, and he has the worst mentality of all time, and they're never gonna win anything. And then he's gonna go to another team, show some promise, and then probably let his mentality get in the way again. Obviously, Cousins was a bit different. He had this ACL.
Hey, Kai, I would like to announce that Khalil Mack is having he's out for the season with foot surgery. I just got that notification.
Damn. Well,
but the good news is Cam Newton's starting against.
Justin Fields, baby.
I hope he recovers, but yeah, I mean, we weren't really gonna make anything of the season anyway, so I'd rather we shut him down. And he gets surgery and he comes back next season.
Dude, there's a team that I am a fan of who could take advice from that.
They really need to sit him. Like, we're not gonna go back in the NFL, but like, but they need to like shut him down. Anyway, but yeah, they need that dog on their team and all that. But do we have anything else for NBA? Want to talk about? Because we can move on to MLB Awards, Austin and Tyler, if you guys want to cover that.
All right. Big, historic, even for the MVP, at least. Ohtani unanimously won MVP.
Big fly.
As he should. Big fly Ohtani-san. Doing something that we honestly haven't seen since Babe Ruth. And I think it's a big win for MLB that they recognize the game's most interesting and dynamic and biggest like ticket draw with the best player award. I think it's beautiful. And of course, my favorite player, Bryce Harper, gets his MVP. I'm very happy about how everything shook out. I think a lot of the Cy Young stuff I'm very happy with as well. Corbin Burns won it for Milwaukee in the NL, and Robbie Ray from Toronto won it for the AL. And then Rookie of the Year, I believe, was Randy Arozarena from the Tampa Bay Rays, and Jonathan India, who I've been rooting for all season from the Cincinnati Reds for the NL Rookie of the Year.
I don't understand how Randy whatever his name is still considered a rookie. I don't get that.
Service time manipulation, baby. It's the Rays at their finest.
Yep.
The one argument a lot of people made is Zach Wheeler should have won NL Cy Young, but because of more innings or whatever. But he pitched awful in those innings.
Yeah. No, he didn't. What are you talking about?
In the remaining, final like 6 or 7 starts were rough.
No, that's okay. Like Corbin Burns literally was just Clayton Kershaw, but right-handed a little bit. Like he was insane. He like because obviously Jacob deGrom would have won it if he was healthy, but Corbin Burns was literally like deGrom was gonna have the greatest pitching season of all time, and Corbin Burns honestly probably had like in terms of efficiency and on a rate basis at least top 15. Like he was insane. He just didn't get the same amount of innings, but I'm glad that he got recognized because when he pitched, he was by far the best pitcher in the National League.
I don't know. I saw like deGrom at the beginning of the season was like hitting 400 or something. Obviously, probably didn't keep up. I don't know what it ended at. And that he was throwing like 105 every pitch. What if the Mets just said, we don't want DeGrom to start, and then like came up with some fake injury and then just played him like later in the season because it always seems like he gets hurt.
He does have an injury problem, which sucks, but I don't think they do that. He's the Mets have their best chance of winning with him pitching.
Too bad they lose when he pitches.
I know
'cause they can't hit.
that's so funny.
I remember seeing that stat like in the summer. Like every DeGrom had like a terrible record and had like all the best stats.
Yeah. But yeah, so and then who won Manager of the Year? It was San
Kevin
Francisco?
Cash and Gabe
Yeah.
Kepler.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Where's Gabe? Where is he managing at? Not the Phillies anymore, right?
San Fran.
San Francisco.
San Fran. Got you.
Yep. So I'm also happy the Rays got 2 of the big ones. Coach of the Year.
The Rays really can't like put it together though and win a series, like a World Series though.
They'll figure it out. Once all their young players kind of get there, I think they're going to be scary for a long time.
Until they trade him away because they don't have the money to pay him.
They're not going to trade Wander.
Well, is that it for baseball? Because we can move into some European soccer.
It's actually world this time.
World soccer.
We were in an international break.
We are in an international break. Chase, break it down for us.
So I'm going to do this very quickly. If you guys do want to look at our outline, I have the points and everything set up to make it a little easier to like ask stuff. I'm going to start with Africa, Asia, and Oceania. I'm not explaining it because there's so many playoffs and point systems that like it's so hard to understand. Oceania, I don't even think it started. Asia's getting to like the later stages of their elimination stuff, and Africa, there's so many nations. I know Ivory Coast is out, and that's like a big one.
Wow, Ivory Coast is out?
Yeah, Egypt is one of the bigger names just because of Mo Salah.
So yeah,
but we can start with let's start in the Western Hemisphere. Canada, top of the CONCACAF standings.
Not just hockey, baby. They're not just hockey.
They have Jonathan David and Alphonso Davies who have torn apart everything. The USA.
I just want to pause for 1 second. I just want to say real quick, like whatever Canada is putting in the water over there, like their basketball scene is getting better. They've been gods at hockey, and now they're really good at soccer. Like, okay. Anyway, keep going.
So they have a lot of like good players, but they have 2 studs, and the USA kind of stumbled out of the gate.
Yeah.
So that now, and they also didn't have Pulisic for like the first couple.
True.
They lost McKennie, but the USA, Mexico, and Panama are the biggest ones. I believe it's three, and there's 6 games to go.
So three
there's
make
still
it.
A lot of movement. I believe it's 3.
Make it out of that. Okay, gotcha.
But the top 3, like we'll move on to World Cup, and then in South America, Brazil and Argentina have already qualified. It's the top 4 for them. And they have 4 games left. Ecuador has currently the highest points of someone who has not actually qualified yet. Ecuador. I couldn't tell you a single person on that team.
I'm surprised Colombia is not up. Like, I mean, they're 7th. They're right behind Ecuador, but
they had some injury issues. The big one I was going to bring up is Uruguay.
Yeah,
they lost their last 2 and really, really struggled.
Is that where Suarez is from?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Edison Cavani. They're really like offensively talented and then kind of struggle in defense. That's their whole thing. But then very quickly, Europe just finished their qualification. Mm-hmm. They could move a little. It's very thrown off with COVID, so everyone's kind of in a different spot. But we can start. I'll just list these teams really quickly. Qatar qualified because they're hosting. Germany, Denmark. Brazil.
Wait. Does the host country automatically qualify?
Yes. So in 2026,
that's like a rule?
Yes, in 2026, USA, Canada, and Mexico
we qualified.
But Brazil, France, Belgium, Croatia, Spain, Serbia actually beat Portugal in the 90th minute on a 2-1 comeback to qualify and took Portugal's spot out of their group. So Portugal now might miss out because they are in a playoff. I don't know exactly how it works. There's like a tournament playoff thing that they do that happens in March. It's very complicated. I tried reading up, and there's so much that I can't really explain it.
Well, I wanted to see João Felix, so this may be a problem
since that transfer. But anyway, England also got there, Switzerland, Argentina, and the Dutch are back in the World Cup. They missed 2018.
Netherlands?
Yep, they made the final in 2010. The semifinals got kicked out on penalties to Argentina in 2014. Missed in 2018, but they are back. Memphis Depay has the most assists, shots on target.
That's why I'm attached to them.
Memphis Depay has been the best player like for World Cup qualifying. He is like a center forward role for them. But the big thing I want to say, Sweden, Italy, and Portugal are all very notable playoff teams to try to make it in like those remaining European like World Cup spots.
Wow. Well, you did a great job breaking that down.
Italy just won the Euros. That's why that's huge. Portugal obviously just lost. They have Ronaldo. That's big. And Sweden just always plays everybody tough. So the Swedes are always like a team that you look at and you're like, oh my, they actually have a shot. And then they don't do anything. But
has England already qualified? Did you already say that?
Yeah, they Harry Kane scored 2 hat tricks, and they beat some team like 10-0 in their last game.
He's doing it for you, Chase.
Oh, San Marino. San Marino.
Hey, it's coming home. Part
San Marino
2.
It's coming home.
It's coming home.
It's coming home, innit?
Score a goal, England.
But international break is over. The next international break isn't until next year. And that's kind of when it'll kind of shake out. And then it's World Cup season next time this year. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. So the World Cup's going to be in November next year, right?
November and December.
Nice. That's going to be interesting.
Let me check really quickly.
When's the last time we've had a World Cup in the winter?
Never.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Let me just look it up here.
Yeah, go ahead.
The 21st, November 21st.
Oh, wow. So 2 days in
a
year and 2 days.
In a year and 2 days, the World Cup will start, which even if you aren't a soccer fan, I do beg you to watch it.
You got to.
It's the one time you can act like you like it.
You got to.
Even if you don't like it, just watch the U.S. and then
you're being a patriot.
Yeah. And then they'll probably lose to like Panama and miss out on the World Cup again because it's the U.S. way. But I'll stop there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that segment. We're getting towards the end of our show here. We're going to talk about last week's hot takes, right? So Reagan, thank you for putting these in here, Chase, by the way.
I do it for me, and now I've like started actually adding them.
So Reagan last week said that the Seahawks beat the Packers. Russell Wilson needs to get that finger figured out because they didn't score any points last week. I think what they lose by 17-0?
17-0.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an issue. Obviously, the finger was bothering Russ. That's something we didn't talk about the NFL segment, but they got to figure that out because they're 3-6 and a tough division. So we might not see the Seahawks in the playoffs this year. Ryan's hot take was the Saints would beat the Titans. What was the score of that one? I know Titans won.
Don't even get me started on how bad of the Saints played there.
What was the score, Tyler?
What's that?
23-21.
I was going to say, I thought it was
They missed 2 extra
They
points.
missed 2 extra points.
I didn't know that.
Are the Titans winning games without Derrick Henry?
Who day?
That is crazy.
Somehow.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Getting very lucky.
Hey,
Chase
AP all day.
Chase with the banger week. Probably our best hot take week, like hot takes that have gotten correct.
But Chase, at what cost?
At what cost?
So,
hey, baby, let's go. I told you Oklahoma are frauds.
Chase, I said Shaler because I was about to read Baylor. Chase, Baylor, you predicted Baylor would beat Oklahoma by 2 touchdowns. They did exactly that. You know, so the Lions
it was
beat the Steelers.
13 points, but
okay, same thing. You also predicted the Lions would beat the Steelers. The Lions tied. Only the Lions did not go 0 and.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's another.
Dan Campbell has a chance to be the first player and coach to go 0 and 16.
Oh, that's
and one
bad for him. And then last week I predicted Penn State would beat Michigan. It was pretty close there for a while, and then Michigan pulled away. And I said the Jags would beat the Colts. That's not what happened. Did Josh Allen have a forced fumble or no? I don't think he did.
No,
I don't think he did.
I don't think so.
So this week, all new hot takes, and well, so we're taking a break for next week. We're not going to be on next Friday. So how should we do the hot takes this week? Should we give 2? Like, should we look forward a little bit, or
maybe we can give? I don't know.
Well,
we didn't think about this.
Yeah, I guess we didn't think about this. Man, there is. Well, I always give them.
You can say they're separate, or you can parlay them. You can go for 2, or you can bounce them.
Okay. Okay. I have a good one, actually. I have a good one. Oh my gosh. This is a banger. This might be 3. I might have 3. I might have
boy.
3 here. So obviously for this week, man, this is tough.
I know mine. It's
Yeah.
just one, and I
So
know
this-
what it is.
Okay, well you go for it because it might be what I was about to say, but go for it. 'Cause I think I know what yours will be.
This is my this is the bad ending Austin hot take. Oklahoma will impress me. That's all I'm gonna have for my hot take this week. So yep, that's all I got. They'll impress me, and I'll have a smile on my face. That's all I got.
I respect that. My hot take this week, I have Utah beating Oregon. Now this may be a little bit unfair, but if they don't beat them this week, I'm gonna have another hot take for the Pac-12 Conference Championship that they will beat them then. Because
So you're
Oregon
like me and the
is
Lions.
fraud.
I just keep saying they're
They-
gonna win.
They are frauds. All right, and then man,
Jeez.
wow. Okay, so not this.
What's the score?
Is this next week?
What's that?
the
What's the
score?
Utah score?
It's Pac-12, 34-28, Utah. So by the way, this week after, or no. Next Saturday, 26th, 27th weekend is a banger matchup for college football. We have Ohio
We'll
State,
be at
Michigan.
the Ohio State Michigan.
Yeah, we have
game.
Ohio
Fun
State,
fact.
Michigan, Oklahoma State, and Auburn, Alabama. It's rivalry week. I have Auburn beating Alabama. They lost to
Bo
unranked
Nix.
Texas A&M. They lost to unranked Texas A&M, and they almost lost against LSU.
Is
I
Bo
think
Nix playing?
I don't know.
I don't know. If he's playing.
I just
I
tank
think he got hurt.
Bixby.
Tank Bixby
He's
and
done for
Bo
the year.
Nix. I have
okay.
Auburn beating Alabama 27-20. And then my last one, just to rub salt in the wounds of Austin, I have Oklahoma State beating Oklahoma by 10 points at least. Score 41-31.
You think Oklahoma can score 31 points?
Maybe that's being generous, but yeah, it was a lot of hot takes. But yeah, we gotta keep a lot of them because we're gonna be off for a week. So those are mine.
Oh,
Tyler, you can go first.
I got one so far. It's Seahawks over Cardinals this week.
Really?
I know Hopkins is out, but I don't know if Kyler's playing or not.
I believe he is listed as questionable currently.
Yeah.
Questionable is the new probable.
Well, not
Just
to
saying.
him. He's been questionable the last 2 weeks.
He says he's pretty close to returning from ankle injury.
Well, we'll see how healthy he is running the football.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to score for that?
I would. If you pick one game, you got to give the score.
I'll go 27-17.
Okay. Got any others for us?
Let me see.
If you need a second, I can give mine.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right.
I'm gonna be looking.
Kai, it looks like we're cheering for the same. The Utes are beating Oregon.
Yes,
I-
sir.
I have a score of 21-17,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I'm not sure. And then the other one, I think Gonzaga are going to beat both UCLA and Duke.
Oh,
But
I forgot about college basketball.
With the caveat, they're going to beat them by double digits.
Ooh.
Okay, I want to go back to mine. All right. Oklahoma will win both of their games in these 2 weeks by a combined score of 1,000,000-0. All right, thanks, guys.
And Kai has
I'm gonna head
won
home
the
for
point
the weekend.
differential.
All right. 1,000,000-0.
Let's go.
What would you put the over under for quarterback changes for Oklahoma, Austin?
I'd probably say 7. Just a conservative estimate. They'll probably have a wide receiver throw a pick. It's gonna be sweet. But no, that's not gonna happen because they're gonna impress me in my heart.
I got one more.
Go
Okay.
for it, Tyler. And end us off here.
It's next week. LSU is beating Texas A&M in Ed Ogeron's final game coaching LSU.
The players who don't want to play for him, saying, let's go, coach. I respect it.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about Tristan Thompson saying no man should ever inspire another man. Ugh, we missed it.
That was
Luke Walton
funny,
should have been
dude.
fired 3 years ago.
But we have to end the show. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. We will be back not next week, but the week after that, the 3rd, December 3rd,
Yeah.
or December, for the real episode 10, right? So it's gonna be a real extravaganza.
Oh yeah.
So thank you guys for coming
yeah.
on. Thank you, panelists, and we
Austin,
will see you in-
I would like to apologize for the show being so targeted towards you.
Yeah. What's
We are
that?
sorry,
Sorry.
Austin.
What? Sorry. What? I can't. What?
See you guys.